my picks for the NFL end of season awards. We'll start with Coach of the Year. I'm a little biased, but how do you not pick Kyle Shanahan? The injuries that the 49ers had. In one game, they literally had more than half of their defense and more than a third of their total starting lineup out with injuries. And it's been the injuries have been all year. They've won 13 games. No one believes in Jimmy Garoppolo, so if he's such a bad quarterback, not only did they win 13 games, but Kyle Shanahan took a bad quarterback and won 13 games. That only helps his case. Jimmy G's not a bad quarterback. Is he excellent? No, but he's not a bad quarterback. A close second is Mike Vrabel, who made the switch. That switch was everything, going from Marcus Mariota to Ryan Tannehill. And in third place, I've got Mike Tomlin. How the Pittsburgh Steelers were in the playoff hunt in Week 17 with all the injuries they had, including missing Big Ben and having to start a guy named Duck, and having another quarterback get his head bashed in by another player, is beyond me. Shanahan, Vrabel, Tomlin, your top three. Offensive Rookie of the Year. This one I think there's two choices, and I kind of went between the two, not really sure which one to choose, but in the end of the day, I'm taking A.J. Brown. Since Ryan Tannehill got put into the QB1 for Tennessee, A.J. Brown has taken off. It's amazing what can happen when a wide receiver has got a halfway capable quarterback throwing him the ball. And the guy I couldn't decide behind, the second place, Josh Jacobs. And at the end of the day, the injuries, I think, are what do Josh Jacobs in. Defensive Rookie of the Year, it's clear, it's cut. There's really only one choice, and that's Nick Bosa from the San Francisco 49ers. He had 80 QB pressures this year. Absolutely ridiculous. Yes, the sack numbers went down. The defensive line went down. I mean, they've lost so many defensive line positions, or so many positions on the people on the defensive line. Teams started double teaming him. So yes, the sack went down, but guess what didn't? The QB pressures. He had 6 QB pressures against Seattle in Week 17. Sacks aren't everything, chat. You got to look at those advanced stats. There's only one. He's the only one I have listed, because if he doesn't get 100% of the vote, I don't know what's going on with the NFL. All right. Offensive Player of the Year. Michael Thomas. There's really only two for this one as well. Michael Thomas. In my opinion, he should be the co-MVP. So if I think he's the co-MVP, then he's got to be. If he's the co-MVP, then he's got to be the Offensive Player of the Year, right? If he doesn't take Offensive Player of the Year with at least 85% of the first place votes, again, what's going on? Number 2, and the only other one I have for Offensive Player of the Year is Christian McCaffrey. He's the third ever 1,000 season, and he was top 5 in the NFL in catches. He was actually just named today first in the AP All-Pro for both flex and running back. Pretty crazy. But I think Michael Thomas will win Offensive Player of the Year, and I think Christian McCaffrey will get second, but I think it's going to be distant second. This one I had a really hard time with as well. There's two that I had a very, very hard time with. And that was Offensive Rookie of the Year between A.J. Brown and Josh Jacobs. And that's Defensive Player of the Year. I ended up going with number 3, Minkah Fitzpatrick. The Steelers' defense was beyond excellent once he arrived. Minkah Fitzpatrick was a game changer. All he had to do was get out of Miami. Who would have figured, chat? Who would have figured? Number 2, TJ Watt. 14.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 8 forced fumbles, and 4 fumble recoveries. Hot damn, chat. Hot damn. TJ Watt comes in number 2 for Defensive Player of the Year. And my Defensive Player of the Year for the NFL is Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore gave up 1 touchdown all year, and that was on one of the best routes I've seen run this year. by John Brown. One touchdown all year in Week 17. He also leads the NFL in pass deflections with 20 and interceptions with 6. Stephon Gilmore is going to be my Defensive Player of the Year. 2 awards left. One is easy. Comeback Player of the Year. 100% of the vote. It has to go to Jimmy G. I don't know who else could contend for this award. Jimmy G missed all of 2018-19. He came back, and he's led the San Francisco 49ers to the number 1 seed and 13 wins. This shouldn't even be close. I don't even have a number 2. Don't even have a number 2. After missing the entire year last year, Jimmy G has come back. He's 12th in the NFL in yards. He's 22 yards away from 4,000. He's 12th in yards. He's 3rd in average. He's 5th in touchdowns at 27. He's 12th in QBR. And he's 8th in QB rating. Easily your Comeback Player of the Year. And that leads us to our last one. And I know we've discussed this quite a bit. And that's MVP. Lamar, need you say more? Lamar's going to win it. Lamar's going to absolutely run away with this, as much as I don't think he should. I think it should be co-MVPs between him and Mike Thomas. But Lamar's going to get it, and Lamar's going to get 98% of the votes. First place votes. I do think Michael Thomas and Christian McCaffrey will steal a couple, but Lamar is your clear-cut MVP. I like Michael Thomas to be 2nd in the MVP voting, and I like Christian McCaffrey to be 3rd in the MVP voting. So to run that all back, we've got Kyle Shanahan, followed very closely by Vrabel and Mike Tomlin for Coach of the Year. A.J. Brown was a tough one to put over Josh Jacobs for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Clear cut and Defensive Rookie of the Year and Nick Bosa. Offensive Player of the Year, Michael Thomas over Christian McCaffrey. Defensive Player of the Year was super tough between 3 guys, but I'm going Stephon Gilmore over T.J. Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick. Comeback Player of the Year, 100% of the vote should go to Jimmy G. And MVP, Lamar Jackson, followed by Michael Thomas and Christian McCaffrey. Those are Simon's 11s NFL after season